bij de podcast Inspirerende Leiders van Nu, editie Ambitie. En vandaag zijn dit mijn gasten. Hey, welcome. We're back. We're in Series 7, and this is edition 3 of Series 7. And this is the first podcast in English for us with a foreign leader. And I'm going to introduce you by calling out what's your name and who are you and where are you working from?
Yeah, well, my name is Iryna Kurkina, and I I currently have two companies that I deal with. It's Academy Smart and Salix, and both are located in Ukraine, the same as me. So I'm talking to you from Ukraine today.
From the Ukraine. And are you, in which part of the Ukraine are you working? Because Ukraine is in war, right?
Yeah, and it's a big country.
Yeah, it's a big country. So where is that located? So the war is on the east side?
Yeah. Well, I normally live in Kharkiv, which is on the very east, very close to the border. But right now I'm more in the central part of the country, in Poltava region, in the city called Kremenchuk. So yeah, it's actually all right here.
It's all right. Okay. And you're working for two companies. In which function are you working there?
With Academy Smart, I'm taking the position of Chief Business Officer, which implies everything connected with business development, sales, coordination with marketing, so everything about and together with business. And Salix is my new business that I started recently, and it's a consultancy also for business development and sales.
Yeah. And we know each other from LinkedIn, right? We have a common man from Holland, Wouter Weber, which connected us, and he said, you have to check her out. She's really remarkable. Like the device. Huh? And, hey, and in your function as leader, what's your perspective? What's your style of leadership?
Well, that's a good question. I think I always try to be as calm as possible, which is not always easy being a leader, right?
Yeah.
I always try to be constructive and base all my decisions, first of all, by discussing with my team, because if we look at Academy Smart, my team currently is about 11 people.
Yeah.
And I also, considering that I'm not working alone, our department is always interconnected with other departments. We have to always coordinate our efforts. I always try to ground my decisions with either some analytics or data so that, all the decisions we make would be not just as we want them to be or we envision, but also grounded with some data so that we can at least, have something tangible, a little bit more tangible than just thoughts and ideas. So if to summarize the question about what's the leadership style, I guess I'm trying to always find a compromise with people, but also to not to say push my decisions, but you have to be able to defend your thoughts and decisions, especially when you work in a competitive environment.
Okay, thanks. Very nice. So it's always with discuss with your team and support your decisions with grounded data, which makes it tangible for everyone to work around. Okay. Hey, we're going to start with the first exercise, which is your favorite guilty pleasure song.
Okay.
We're going to intervene it later on, but what is it? What's your favorite guilty pleasure song?
Well, that was a hard choice because I love music and I have so many favorite songs. But if I would have to if I still must choose one, I think that would be the one I shared is Poets of the Folk Carnival of Rest, because I guess I've heard this song maybe when I was 15, so about 17 years ago. And it's still with me and it means so much to me. So I guess that's the one.
That's nice. And what's the band name or the artist name?
Yeah, it's the band called Poets of the Fall. It's a Finnish band.
Let's take a listen how it sounds. Okay. Hey, what's your connection with this song? Why do you love this song?
Well, I actually, if you look at my playlists, I have much more minor songs, right, than in major.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Maybe that's just because the minor songs just resonate much better with me. That's the first point. Then the second, just because the meaning in there has always been relevant, either 15 years ago or right now, because as in those lines in the song, it's just nothing is matter and everything around is just carnival of rest. Just look at what has been happening in the world outside the last several years. It has so much meaning and it resonates a lot with me.
Yeah. In 1995, I wrote a song because I played in a band called Kingdom of Desire. I also record singles, etc. Still, I do. But I recorded a song Teardrops, which was also about the world. Like we're opened our eyes, time to look around. We didn't go about it, but our minds were crushing down. Governments succeed to spoil it all. Everything goes wrong. Stand up and face what's going on. Something like that. And it was about teardrops, that there's so much going wrong and we need strong leaders to fix the problems in the world. What do you think about it?
Yeah, well, when you were singing, I actually thought, I don't know why, it just popped up in my head that you also know this song, Wonderful Life, right?
Yeah.
And when you listen to it and you don't read the lyrics, which I did maybe like 15 years ago, I thought it was about a wonderful life, but in an essence, it's about totally different things, that the life is wonderful, but it's full of bad things. And we just, but I agree. And considering all this, like you said, when it's all about the world, about the governments that spoil everything, blah, 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 it's still important to have this ability to see the beauty around you, right? So, because if you're going to focus only on something bad or being depressed by something all the time, you're just not going to be happy. But seeing the beauty around is an amazing skill, and it helps a lot, actually, especially in challenging situations.
Yeah, I think that's right. If you focus on the positive, you still can see the beautiful things in life. but also see what things needs to be fixed and need solutions, and talk with people about it, and support people who are activating the right decisions and the right actions, then the world will be beautiful still. And
Yeah,
true.
I agree.
Okay, we're going to do the next exercise. How it works, I have a few questions, and those questions are regulars. I got 28 of them. And you're just going to pick out a number and call out the number, and I'm going to ask you a question and be as fast and positive and also authentic as you can in answering the question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you may call out a number.
Let's go one by one.
One
so
by
it's
one?
going to be one. Yeah.
One. What's your most important lesson which you've learned from a mentor or coach or a friend?
Oh, yeah. Well, be yourself. Listen to others, but at the same time, don't lose your personality. Don't get drowned in other ideas. Defend your point of view.
Ah, and how does that resonate in your function as a leader?
Oh, that learned me to defend my
Yeah.
point of view, because when I was just starting and when I got this leadership position, I mean, I was struggling sometimes to defend my ideas, but the further you go, the better you get at that.
Yeah, true. And what did you undergo a transformation for that? So you had to learn something which you overwon?
Yeah, well, being in business development in general is constantly stepping out of your comfort zone. And many things that I work with and deal with today, and what I know and what I can do, was something unusual for me at some point of a time. So yeah, I guess I did. I became more open-minded, eager to meet new people. I've always been, but I guess it also goes like, it's like the rolling ball. The more people you meet and the more knowledge you get from them, the more you want to get
Yeah.
further.
Yeah, it's true. And I also find it remarkable that the older you get, the more you become aware that you know a lot, but you just know a tiny
Yeah.
part. So it's very important to listen to learn, learn to listen, right?
Yeah, indeed.
Okay, we're going to go to the next question. Which number?
Let it be 5.
Let it be 5. That's the question. What's an opposite point of view which you have on a more common vision or conviction about life?
So you mean if my point of view is opposite to the common?
Yeah, true.
Those are hard questions. I'm not actually sure about majority of convictions or prejudices, because I try not to dwell on them pretty much at all. But I mean, I think it also depends on the society and the country that you live in, right? Because different societies have different convictions.
Yeah.
So in Ukraine, before war started, I guess people were a little bit more closed, and if you, for example, go down the street, walk down the street, and you might see that people were sometimes a little bit blue, a little bit, in their own thoughts. I've always had a conviction that you have to be kind to people around, even if they don't want this, or even if they don't appreciate this. You still, like I don't remember, I guess it was in the song, kill them with your kindness, that? So,
Yeah.
because I believe in pay it forward, if you have ever seen this movie.
Yes.
So I guess that's a good motto. Try to be as kind as you can, even if people are being rude or bad to you.
Yeah, nice. But that's a really great view on life, eh? Because you stimulate and support others in kindness. Eh? So kill them with your kindness and pay it forward. It's a really great belief. Okay, next question. Which number?
I'll let it be 15.
15. Let's see. What's your daily morning routine?
Well, the first thing I do, except for, normal daily toilet stuff, is I walk the dog. That's the first thing I do in the morning. I have a dog, so I have to walk him.
Yes.
So that's pretty much the most important thing I do in the morning. And then it's coffee and work.
Yeah, coffee and work. And from which time to which time are you at work?
Oh, it's really flexible and it depends. Some days it might be from 9 a.m. Some days it might be from 11 a.m. Depends on what I was doing previously because I'm usually on the later side of the things, so to say. So I can work late hours. For
Yes.
me, it's harder to start early in the morning, but I can work like 10 p.m., 11 p.m., and that's fine with me.
Yeah. All right. Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Next question. From 1 till 28. Name a
Yeah.
number.
Yeah.
Start a number.
3, or we've already been there, no?
Yeah, 3 is a great number. What's your favorite mistake which you've had in the past, which also gave you a great learning lesson?
No. One of the best mistakes, I think, and one of the most important lessons was, when I just when I just became a leader, I was always very impulsive, always over emotional. And I sometimes, I have to admit this, could be not very good with my colleagues and teammates because when you're new, you have to, as I've said, I was struggling with defending my point of view, with getting the things that I wanted to be done. But one of my colleagues, she told me like that. It's not going to work this way if you're going to stay this way. This type of leadership and this type of communication just not going to work. And such things, they hit very hard, but I started to listen. And I think my husband, he also taught me a lot to be much calmer and much more polite with people, especially on the work.
Yeah.
So that was a very emotional moment for me, but I learned a lot. So I revisited my whole communication model, my whole leadership model, and that was a very important lesson.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a great lesson to learn. Eh? Yeah. So if you resume this exercise, then you could say, well, your best lesson which you learned from a mentor is listen to others and still defending your position or point of view. It means that you need to consolidate your stretching mode, is be open-minded, and you have to meet people and talk to people.
Yeah.
The opposite point of view on common prejudices and beliefs are that cultures are different. And in Ukraine, what I guess is people were some kind more, a little bit more introverted, more blue orientated, as you call it out. And you tried to reach out to them and kill them with your kindness and pay that skill forward. Very nice. In your morning routine, you walk the dog, you take a cup of coffee, and you go to work, and you have flexible working hours, which means depending on the situation, you adjust and are flexible. And in your favorite mistakes and the most important lesson, it is that in former days you were sometimes a little bit impulsive or over emotional. That's not good for your colleagues or teammates, and it extended by pressuring them on getting something done. But you have learned you have to listen sometimes, so you started listening, and you're much more calmer, even with the help of your husband to stimulate that kind of skill. And you're also more polite in communication with your teammates, so you get more done and you
Yeah,
hear more from them what their point of visions or point of views are, right?
yeah, yeah.
We're going to the next exercise, and in the next exercise, I'm so curious. What's your story? Because you're 31, you're a leader of two companies. Tell me, what's the story which led you to this, this present state of being and state of living and state of working as a leader for two companies? What's the story behind that?
Yeah, well, I think if you ask majority of people dealing with business development and sales, nobody would say that they have ever dreamt about this job or studied for this job, because there is simply no study for this type of work, which I find very pity. Um, so I was actually finishing my master degree when I was 21 year old, so about 10 years ago. Um,
That's young, eh? 21 years and a master degree, so you're very smart.
well, it just happened to be this way.
Yeah, it's true. But 21, it's a young age to get a master degree. You're at the early stage, right?
Yeah, I guess I was. And I was studying international business, finance, and all that type of things. And I had very good professors in my university. One of them proposed me to consider, as she said, it was a marketing job. And I've never was interested in marketing, but I was young. I wanted to find a job. I wanted to stop working. So I thought, why not? Give it a try. That's another kind of my motto. It doesn't hurt to try.
Yeah.
So I always give it a try. So I accepted at least to go and see if the guys, if I like them, if I like the work, the job, whatsoever. So I went, I spoke to them. Everything looked perfect. All right. So, and they promised me to teach me everything. It appeared to be not marketing, but sales, business development position. And that's how my journey started about 10 years ago. So yeah, but through the time, I mean, right now, I'm still with this company that hired me 10 years ago, and these people are really great. And I value one of the things that I value the most in my current work, for example, at Academy Smart, is the leadership team that I made a very good connection with. For me, that's one of the most important things, especially when you are in business development. It's critical, I guess. You need to be on the same page in order to grow the business together. And how I got here, as I was, growing as a professional, as I was growing as an employee, I've always had some ambitions. I always wanted something more, a little bit more. And that was actually an interesting situation when we've got a chief business officer or head of sales assigned from the outside, and I felt myself so bad because I thought, that this position should have been mine.
Oh,
So I actually went to my CEO and I told him, like, I don't agree with this, and I thought this position should have been mine. And he listened to me, and he was a little bit, I guess, he was a little bit surprised because he didn't expect me to be so straightforward and, open about this. But after some time, this head of sales, it didn't work, neither for us nor for them. And I've got this position. So that's where I am still. And I started growing my team. We started from just me and another colleague of mine, and now we have 11 people. And if we look at Salix, I think it came naturally because through my career in Academy Smart, quite a lot of people from time to time were asking me about some sales advice, some business development hints. And I thought, why don't, I make it a little bit more unified or official so that I would have my own business, at least a side business where I could help people. Because, for me, business development and sales is not about selling something. It's about finding the solution for the problems that people might have and find them in the best possible way. And I'm sincere, because, I paid forward by helping people. So
Yeah.
that's the long story short.
Yeah, but it's a great story. Yeah. So the story of becoming the leader which you are right now is nobody would say that that they dreamt or focused, studied for doing sales, which is really awkward because it's a great profession. You got your master degrees on age of 21. You were studying international business, and you just applied for a job on a suggestion of one of your professors,
Yeah.
which suggestion just take that job and it didn't hurt you. You have the vision of, well, it doesn't hurt to try. You started the job and you're still with that company, and because there are great people over there and you got a great connection with your leadership team, especially in development, it's really important to be on the same page to be successful together. And in earlier days you always wanted more, so you had like the driving spirit, the motivational spirit to make something of your life and to make something of your work. So you started, but at a certain point there was a position in which they hired an external person to fill in that position, and you debated with your director who wanted the job, and that you find it awkward that they hired an external one because there was a great person you inside the company. And now, after a while, she left, and you got that position, and you're still in that zone, and it comes naturally to you. You have a great team which you've built from scratch till what it is right now. And you love it to do sales advice, which makes it more unified to help people and in finding solutions for problems. And you love it to do it in a sincere way, right?
Yeah. That's a great summary again.
Yeah. So I'll just notate what you say because it's lovely and and a great vision, great leader. It's also the purpose of this podcast, because we bring inside great leaders with great inspirational visions. And my opinion is that people and the world needs to get more people inside which are great leaders with great visions, which help people to transfer from the problems which we are in right now to a more unified spirit that we can handle this world, and we can handle the problems, and we can create great things. We're creative. And most of the people, they are sincere. They love doing the good stuff, and well, let's stimulate that. So it's lovely. All right. The next one is just react on quotes. And I'll give you some quotes, and you just react on what I say as fast as you can.
Okay.
People are sincere.
Yeah, well, not always. But I love to think about them this way. I hope they are.
Yeah, so you have the hope that people are.
Yeah.
Yeah. This world needs strong leaders.
Oh yeah, I agree with that 100%.
Why?
Because as one of my very good connections from Ireland actually says to me quite often, inspire others by being a good leader, and the others might also, see something unique in them. Because this world sometimes takes a weird turn, and I think if there would be more sincere, good leaders, the world just could be a better place.
Yeah, it's true. They call it the VUCA world. Huh? The world is voluntary, uncertain, complex ambiguity, which means that it goes as fast as hell in these days. And the complexity of the problems are huge, and everything is connected with each other. and it makes people uncertain. So you have to be flexible, and you have to be inspirational. You have to be connective with other people to solve the problems which are there. And it's like you said, the world just sometimes takes a weird turn, and then we need strong leaders, which helps people to get out of that situation. Yeah. It's true. Okay, female leaders are better than the male leaders.
I don't know, honestly. I don't think so, because I think it doesn't depend on sex, because I know so many great men leaders, male leaders. I know amazing and very inspirational female leaders. I mean, it doesn't depend on sex. If the person is genuine, if they have great ideas, if they can inspire others, it doesn't matter.
That's true. Yeah, and I think it's true. In the first series of Plevier and Inspirational Leaders, we talked about feminine and masculine energy, which is in everyone. And some leaders have a little bit more masculine energy, some leaders have a little bit more feminine energy. Some are well balanced. Mm-hmm. But it's true. It's all about being genuine, and it's all about inspire people with great ideas and motivate them to see their talents, etc. I love that vision. It's really nice. Okay, the last one. I have the skills to transform the world.
Is it about you or me, or it's
about you? So the statement is,
okay.
I have the skills and the knowledge to transform the world. The talents to transform the world.
Well, unfortunately, I think that my how would you say that? My leverage is too small to make a big difference. But what I strongly believe in, just you have to always start from changing the world around you. And if the people see you doing something in a new way, in a different way, they might follow your example. Because I don't believe in, like, we are a little people, we are small people. No, I think if you do something differently, or if you try to make change even in your nearby environment, that already makes a difference.
It's true. Yeah, and it can work like when you throw a rock at a pool or at a lake, and you see it bounce. It makes circles, right?
Yeah.
Which expand. So always see what's your influence, and if you influence someone around you, inspire them, then maybe they get inspired too. So well, it's nice. So if you resume this exercise, then you could say, well, in sincere. Am I sincere? Not always, but I'm great at creating hope.
Sorry for interrupting you.
Yeah.
Was it about me being always sincere?
People. So are people sincere? Not always, but I create hope. Sorry. The second one was we need strong leaders. Yes, we need them to inspire others, to show good actions. The world just sometimes takes a weird turn, and sometimes we need strong leaders, which leads the way. In the difference between female versus male leaders, are they better? Well, don't think so. It doesn't depend on sex. If you're genuine and you have great ideas, then your leadership will take a great turn, because people follow great examples. And do I have the skills, the knowledge, and the talent to transform the world? Well, maybe my leverage is too small, but you have to start with your inner circle, the circle close to you, to change the world around you, and people might follow your lead.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we love this one, so then we're cheering again. Very good. Okay, last exercise is if you would state a tip or an advice, what do people and the world need in strong leadership? What's your advice for people who want to become a leader? That's the first one. And what's your advice towards the world, people working for organizations, especially the leaders? What would you advise? What's your tip?
Well, again, I would advise to be genuine, just because I've seen so many great examples, and being natural is always the best strategy, I guess, just because you is you, and it's not going to change. The second thing that I would advise, keep always learning, not only by reading the books, which is definitely important, but by listening to others, hearing other opinions, because sometimes we get too too consumed by ourselves, but by our everyday routine, that we might not see some things, but from the outside it might be better seen, right? So that's the second thing. The thing that I think is important is to try to always stay positive, how complicated it may be. Just because if your team, for example, gets depressed or faces some challenges, you're going to be the only person who have to support them and show them another way. Or, I mean, it's hard sometimes because people may get burned out. They might not like their results, and your job is to motivate them to keep on going and to reach a good result. So being positive actually helps a lot, how challenging it might be. And once again, try to still think about what's important, and not what's good, right? Think about what's right. Especially if you work for the company, right? You always have to combine the things like what's good and what's needed. And it's not always the same thing.
Yeah.
So, just try to think about the bigger things, the strategic things always.
Yeah, it's nice. So your advice to the world and leaders in the organization is be genuine, be natural. It's the best strategy. Be you. You is you. It's the best way to get around. The second one is that you keep always learning. So read books, but also listen to others. And sometimes we're too consumed with our own lives and our own tasks and our own responsibilities. And sometimes it's better for the world to take a look outside to see what's the impact of your behavior for others and what you can do to influence them better. The third one is stay positive. How complicated it may be, you are the one who can stimulate and support people to keep on going and to be stimulated in their work. And the last one is also, it can be a challenge, but the last one is also like focus on what's right and important and what's good and needed. It's not always the same thing, so you have to figure out what's good, what's needed, how can we bring those together to get the best result for me, the team, the organization, and the client.
Yeah.
I think it's a lovely vision on leadership. And I want to thank you a lot for your vision. It's inspirational. I always find it inspirational to talk to you, but I was right. My intuition was right. I have to get her in my podcast. We talk to each other soon. Keep inspiring each other, and have a nice weekend later on.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Vav, once again. Wishing you all a great weekend as well. Take care.
This is the song for the people, a message of hope. Open up your eyes, look to the sky, the sun will shine on us. Every night I watch the moon, changing tide. How did this turn so quickly? The waves shift behind